Hi there, it's Chris from Sally Forth. Thank you for joining me for another one of my painting and modelling videos. So today, I know I've done a few things with the Wargames Atlantic survivors. We've done bank robbers. We've done apocalypse survivors. What I'm looking to do now is a little bit different, to take a couple of the male figures, a couple of female figures, and to put them together, to use them as vampire slayers and vampires. So for a long time I've been a big fan of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Sort of back in the day we used to play the Buffy role-playing game. More recently we've done some Buffy themed role-playing using Monster of the Week, and what I'm looking forward to doing shortly is to use Pulp Alley for some tabletop skirmish, semi-RPG, Buffy themed gaming. So what I'm looking to do now, so one of the things that the Buffy game wasn't all about actually playing the characters, but sort of working on a premise that over time there were lots of different slayers. So the models that I've made aren't models of the cast from the TV series, but what I've tried to do is to put together a character who is a slayer, a watcher, a sort of a friend that's a witch, and then a couple of sort of mere mortals who have got sort of drawn into it. One of the things I really liked about the Buffy show is that those, I think, firearms were only used once, and it was a big deal in the whole of, sort of 7 seasons. So we kind of got a going medieval sort of theme going on with sort of one of the Scooby Gang sporting a kind of a longbow, another one with a crossbow, and a basket full of sort of medieval weapons for that kind of Buffy going medieval sort of look. So the bits and pieces that aren't off the kit are also from the Wargames Atlantic. They're from the medieval villages that they did for the sort of Guards of Traitors Toll. One of the things I found really useful was that some of the I think the sort of the male survivors can be done as protesters as well, holding 2x2 to make some placards, and I've cut that down to turn it into stakes. So what we're going to do is have a look at how I've painted them sort of step by step. We'll also have a look at the modern vampire miniatures that I've made, which once again is using the survivors, the male and the female survivor set. I did use some third-party resin vampire heads on those to give them the look of that sort of modern sort of a vampire face that we see in the Buffy game. So we'll have a look at those, look at some look at some photos, and do a spin so you can see what I've done. So I'm very pleased with how this group of figures has turned out. I think they're going to make an ideal league for Pulp Alley. So we've got a slayer, a watcher, a witch, and a couple of Scoobies that are probably not going to last that long, but they give the group some ranged weapon support. I've mounted them onto clear bases that I've punched out using a 1-inch diameter hole punch that I got off of Amazon, and some Ultra Pro top loader cards. I like this as a basing technique. It's ultra thin, and the figures really do sort of blend with whatever terrain that they are standing on. And then the important thing is a really good spray varnish to protect the paintwork.
So this is my group of vampires that I've painted using the Wargames Atlantic bodies and some resin heads. So maybe the heads are slightly out of scale. It would be lovely if one day Wargames Atlantic were to make a plastic vampire box set, and then there'd be lots of mix and match possibilities. But I think they kind of work out. No, so they work okay, and for me, they certainly give the feel of the type of vampire faces that we saw on Buffy. So the heads were just glued on with no, with super glue, and I think they look pretty dramatic.
Thank you for joining me. I hope you found something useful in that maybe you can turn into a hobby project yourself. If you liked it, do please hit the like, subscribe, no, even sort of share, no, so share a link with your friends. And if you've got any questions or any comments, please do don't hesitate to put them down below. Always try to answer them, and it's great to have a bit of feedback. So I will see you next time.